Today, we're going to become food detectives. Yep, we're going to uncover the hidden science that's sitting right there, on your plate.
Seriously, think about the last thing you ate. Maybe it was a simple piece of bread, some lentils, a vegetable. Seems pretty basic, right? But what if I told you that simple meal is actually this complex, incredible collection of secret ingredients? Ingredients that literally power your entire life.
So, to crack this case, we've got to start with the basics. Every single dish, I don't care if it's a chapati and dal or rice and sambar, it's all made up of ingredients, right? And inside those ingredients are these special components our bodies are just crying out for to function.
And these essential components, they have a name: nutrients. Honestly, you can think of them as the superheroes of our food story. We're talking carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, and minerals. These are the guys that keep us going every single day.
All right, let's get our hands dirty. To really get to the bottom of this, we're going to start a proper investigation. Our mission? To find the 3 major nutrients. And you'll be surprised at just how simple the tests are to find them.
First up on our most wanted list is the main energy provider for your body: carbohydrates. Yeah, we're talking about the stuff you find in everyday foods like potatoes, rice, and wheat. This is the primary fuel that gets you out of bed and through your day.
So how do we catch this energy source in the act? Well, we can detect a key type of carbohydrate called starch with this super simple iodine test. All you do is add a couple of drops of iodine solution to a food item, and if it turns this deep blue-black color, bam, case closed, you found starch.
Okay, suspect number 2. Now we're hunting for proteins. These guys are the essential building blocks, for our body's growth and repair. So if carbs are the fuel for the car, proteins are the mechanics and the construction crew, constantly fixing things up and building new parts.
Now this test feels a little more mad scientist, but it's still pretty easy. You just make a paste to the food, add a couple of specific chemicals, we're talking copper sulfate and caustic soda, and watch for the magic. If that mixture turns violet, bingo, you found your protein.
And for our final major suspect, we have fats. Now I know, fats sometimes get a bad rap, right? But they are an absolutely critical energy source for our bodies. We find them in delicious things like nuts, oils, and meat.
And you're going to love this test because it's the easiest one yet. Seriously, just take a food item, wrap it in some paper, and crush it. If it leaves behind that telltale oily patch that lets light through, well, you've found your fat. No fancy lab equipment required for that one, huh?
Okay, so wait a minute. Both carbs and fats are called energy-giving foods. So what's the deal? What's the real difference? Well, think of it like this. If carbohydrates are the regular gasoline for your car, fats are like high-octane rocket fuel. For the exact same amount, fats just pack way more of an energy punch.
But hold on, it's not all about energy. I mean, that's a huge part of it, but it's not the whole story. Beyond our big 3 suspects, our food has this whole other team of what we call micronutrients. And their job? They're basically the personal bodyguards for our health. Let's meet them. Vitamins and minerals.
Vitamins, man, they are our tireless protectors, and each one has a super specific job to do. You've got vitamin A, which helps keep your eyes sharp. Then there's vitamin C, your go-to for fighting off diseases. And of course, vitamin D, which helps your body actually use calcium to build strong bones.
And then there are the minerals. Now, the crazy thing about these is we only need them in tiny amounts, but don't let that fool you. They are absolutely essential. Think about it. Calcium is building your bones and teeth, and iron is busy keeping your blood healthy so you don't feel weak. Pretty important stuff. All right, so we've met the whole crew, right? We've got the energy givers, the builders, and the protectors. The whole gang's here. So the big question is, how do we get all of them working together for us? Well, the solution is something I'm pretty sure you've heard of before.
It's the famous balanced diet. And the most important word there, the key to the whole thing, is balance. See, it's not just about making sure you eat all these nutrients. It's about getting them in the right quantities. Not too much of one thing, and definitely not too little of another.
Okay, balanced diet. That sounds great. We all get it in theory, but what does that actually look like on a plate? When you're standing in the kitchen trying to figure out what to make for dinner, how do you turn that idea into a real meal?
And this is what I find so cool. This shows us that there's no single, perfect, balanced meal that everyone has to eat. Look at this. A meal in Punjab with makki ka roti, rajma, and saag is just as balanced and healthy as a meal down in Andhra Pradesh with rice, dal, and local vegetables. It proves it's all about using what's around you to get the job done.
But what happens when things go wrong? When that balance is way off? If someone's diet is missing one of these key players for a long time, well, the consequences can get pretty serious.
And this table just lays it all out, doesn't it? It shows exactly how vital every single component is. If you don't get enough vitamin C for a long time, you could get scurvy. A big lack of vitamin D can lead to rickets, where bones actually become soft. And not enough iron? That leads to anemia, which just makes you feel weak all the time. You see? Every nutrient has a job, and when it's not there, the body really notices.
And remember, balance is a two-way street. It's not just about getting too little of something. The scale can tip the other way too. The source material is really clear on this. Eating way too much of certain foods, especially those super rich in fats, can cause its own problems, a condition called obesity.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's that phrase we keep coming back to. Balance is everything. It's all about variety and moderation. Eating lots of different kinds of foods to make sure you're getting that whole team of nutrients on your side. That is the real secret to using food to power, build, and protect your body.
So there you have it. We've cracked the case. We've uncovered the energy sources, hunted down the bodybuilders, and revealed the team of protectors that were hiding in plain sight on your plate this whole time. So I guess there's only one question left to ask you. Now that you know the secrets, how are you going to build your next meal?